The neuroscience of social anxiety. Why just relax never works. The freeze response in modern society. When you walk into a social situation and feel that familiar wave of dread, what's actually happening in your brain is an ancient survival mechanism misfiring in the modern world. Social anxiety isn't simply shyness or nervousness, it's your body's threat detection system gone haywire, interpreting cocktail parties and coffee chats as potential life or death scenarios. At its core, social anxiety represents a fundamental miscommunication between three key brain regions. The amygdala, your brain's alarm center that's hardwired to detect threats. The prefrontal cortex, the rational, thinking part of your brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, the mediator that evaluates social threats. When these systems fall out of sync, you experience the classic symptoms of social anxiety: racing heart, sweaty palms, mental blankness, and that overwhelming urge to escape. But why does this happen so frequently in situations that aren't actually dangerous? The evolutionary mismatch. Our brains evolved in an environment where social rejection could literally mean death. In our ancestral past, being ostracized from the tribe meant losing protection, resources, and mating opportunities, effectively a death sentence. While the stakes are dramatically lower today, our neurobiology hasn't received the memo. Modern research using fMRI scans shows that social rejection activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. This explains why an awkward conversation or perceived slight can feel so viscerally painful. Your brain is processing it as a genuine injury. The cognitive distortion factory. Social anxiety thrives on cognitive distortions, faulty thinking patterns that reinforce fear. The most common include mind reading, assuming you know what others are thinking about you; catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible outcomes; personalization, believing you're the center of others' attention; emotional reasoning, I feel anxious, therefore this must be dangerous. These distortions create a vicious cycle where anxiety breeds more anxiety. Each negative social experience gets cataloged in your mental database as proof that social situations are threatening, making the next encounter even more daunting. The physiology of anxiety. When anxiety strikes, your body undergoes a cascade of physiological changes. The hypothalamus triggers your adrenal glands. Adrenaline and cortisol flood your system. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Blood flows away from your digestive system and prefrontal cortex. Your muscles tense in preparation for action. This fight-or-flight response explains why you might go blank when trying to make conversation, struggle to articulate thoughts, feel nauseous before social events, experience trembling or sweating. The cruel irony is that these physical reactions often create the very social mishaps we fear: stumbling over words, appearing nervous, or withdrawing from interaction, which then reinforces the anxiety. The spotlight effect. One of social anxiety's most powerful illusions is the spotlight effect, the belief that everyone notices and judges our every move. In reality, studies show that people overestimate how much others notice their appearance, almond behavior by 40–50%, remember their own embarrassing moments 3 weeks longer than observers do, are far more focused on their own potential missteps than yours. This explains why that joke you bombed last week still makes you cringe while the other participants likely forgot it minutes later. Neuroplasticity and anxiety pathways. The brain's ability to rewire itself, neuroplasticity, works both for and against us. Each time we avoid an anxiety-provoking situation, engage in negative self-talk, ruminate about past social interactions, we strengthen the neural pathways associated with social fear. Conversely, each time we face fears in a controlled way, we build new pathways of confidence. The role of early experiences. Childhood experiences shape our social wiring in profound ways. Common roots of social anxiety include overprotective parenting, limiting social experimentation; critical caregivers creating fear of judgment; bullying or social trauma; growing up with socially anxious role models. These experiences can create core beliefs like "I'm unlikable" or "people will reject me," which becomes self-fulfilling prophecies. The social media paradox. While digital connection seems like it should help, research shows excessive social media use increases social comparison, reduces in-person interaction skills, creates unrealistic standards for social performance, leads to compare and despair thinking. The dopamine factor. Social anxiety is reinforced by the brain's reward system. When we avoid an anxiety-provoking situation, we get immediate relief, dopamine reward. This teaches the brain that avoidance, safety, making future approach even harder. Breaking this cycle requires tolerating short-term discomfort for long-term gain. The latest neuroscience research offers hope through understanding these mechanisms. In Part 2, we'll explore practical strategies to retrain your brain's response based on these biological principles. Rewiring your brain's social circuitry, evidence-based strategies that actually work. 1. The neurobiology of safety, how to hack your threat system. Social anxiety isn't a character flaw, it's a learned neural habit. Your brain has become overly efficient at detecting potential rejection while filtering out signs of acceptance. To rewire this, we must teach it a new way to process social interactions. The amygdala's miscalibration. False alarms. Your amygdala treats a casual glance like a predator's stare. Confirmation bias. It logs every awkward moment as proof of danger while ignoring neutral-positive interactions. The fix. Deliberate signal collection. Train yourself to notice 3 safety cues, e.g., a nod, a relaxed posture, a smile, before your brain defaults to threat mode. Study. A 2022 Cambridge experiment found that socially anxious individuals who practiced safety spotting for 5 minutes daily reduced avoidance behaviors by 37% in 6 weeks. 2. Exposure, not avoidance. The gold standard for rewiring avoidance fuels anxiety. Controlled exposure dissolves it. But there's a right and wrong way to do it. The hierarchy method lists anxiety-provoking situations, e.g., saying hi to a coworker, attending a party. Rate them 1 to 10 by anxiety level. Start at 3 to 10. Difficulty, not too easy, not overwhelming. Example progression. Week 1, make eye contact with a barista, 310. Week 3, ask a store clerk where an item is, 510. Week 6, join a group conversation for 2 minutes, 710. Why it works. Synaptic pruning, repeated exposure weakens the fear pathway. Habituation. The brain learns this didn't kill me through experience. Mistake to avoid. Jumping into a 10 in 10 scenario, e.g. public speaking too soon. This can backfire by reinforcing fear. 3. The power of micro-interactions. You don't need grand gestures. Tiny frequent exposures rewire your brain faster than occasional big ones. The 3-second rule. At a cafe? Glance at someone nearby for 3 seconds, then look away. Walking. Pass someone? Lift your chin slightly, no smile needed. Receiving change? Say thanks while briefly meeting their eyes. Neurological benefit. These low-stakes interactions build safety memories without triggering full-blown anxiety. Research insight. A 2021 study in Nature Human Behavior found that micro-exposures activated the prefrontal cortex, rational brain, while quieting the amygdala, fear center. 4. Cognitive diffusion. How to detach from anxious thoughts. Trying to stop anxious thoughts makes them stronger. Instead, learn to observe them without belief. The thought labeling technique. When a thought arises, they think I'm weird. Tag it, that's my social threat story again. Imagine it as a TV scroll or a passing cloud, something you see but don't engage with. Return focus to your senses, e.g., the room temperature, background noises. Why it works. Reduces emotional fusion, believing thoughts, hostile truth. Activates the default mode network, which regulates self-referential thoughts. Exercise. Practice labeling thoughts for 2 minutes daily. This builds mental flexibility over time. 5. Posture and breathing. The body's anti-anxiety lever. Your physiology dictates your psychology. Change your body, change your anxiety. The grounding triad, a 10-second reset. Feet, press them firmly into the floor. Shoulders, roll them back slightly, not forced. Breath, inhale for 4 sec, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Science behind it. Grounding, feet pressure, activates the somatosensory cortex, reducing panic. Open posture signals safety to the amygdala. Extended exhales trigger the vagus nerve, lowering heart rate. Pro tip. Do this before entering a social situation. It preps your nervous system. 6. The acceptance paradox. How leaning into anxiety reduces. It resisting anxiety amplifies it. Accepting it drains its power. The anxiety surfing metaphor. Imagine anxiety as a wave. It rises, peaks, and falls. Your job isn't to stop the wave, but to ride it out. Say internally, this is uncomfortable, not dangerous. I can tolerate it. Clinical support. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, shows that acknowledging anxiety reduces its intensity faster than suppression. Real-world application. If your voice shakes, don't fight it. Let it happen. Most people won't notice, and if they do, they'll relate. 7. Social rehearsal versus social reality. Anxiety thrives on imagined scenarios that rarely match reality. The worst case exercise. Write down your biggest social fear, e.g., I'll say something stupid and everyone will laugh. Rate how bad it would be 0 to 100%, e.g., 70%. Now ask, would I judge someone else for this? Usually no. Have I survived awkward moments before? Yes. Is this truly catastrophic? Rarely. Outcome horror. Most fears when examined shrink from monsters to molehills. 8. The role of self-compassion. Beating yourself up for anxiety reinforces the neural fear loop. The friend test. Would you tell a nervous friend, you're pathetic for feeling this way? Of course not. So why say it to yourself? Alternative script. This is hard right now, and that's okay. I'm learning. Research. Self-compassion correlates with faster anxiety reduction than self-criticism. Mastering social fluency. Advanced techniques for sustainable confidence. 1. The social momentum. Principle. How small wins build. Unshakable confidence. Social confidence isn't a switch you flip, it's a snowball effect of accumulated positive experiences. The neuroscience of momentum. Each successful interaction strengthens dopamine reward pathways, making the next one easier. The brain tags safe social memories, creating a library of reference points. Last time I spoke up, nothing bad happened. Practical strategy. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 count up 5 low-risk interactions, e.g., smiling at strangers. 4 slightly harder ones, e.g., complimenting a coworker's coffee mug. 3 genuine questions, e.g., how was your weekend? 2 opinions shared, e.g., I love this song, reminds me of summer. 1 personal story, e.g., that happened to me too last year. Why it works. Gradual escalation prevents overwhelm while proving your fears wrong. 2. Conversational alchemy. Turning awkwardness into connection. Anxiety often stems from uncertainty about rules. These frameworks remove the guesswork. The AR model, anchor, reward, exit. Anchor, start with observation. Pod question, this line is taking forever. Have you been here before? Reward, show active listening, nodding, brief, to encourage reciprocity. Exit, gracefully disengage after 2 to 3 exchanges. Nice chatting, enjoy your coffee. Study, a 2023 Journal of Social Psychology paper found that structured scripts reduced anxiety by 41% versus winging it. The 3-story buffer technique. Prepare 3 short anecdotes, funny, interesting. You can adapt to any conversation. Examples. A recent small mishap. I burnt my toast so badly this morning. An unexpected moment. You'll never believe what my cat did. A light opinion. I'm team pineapple on pizza. Fight me. Key. Keep stories under 20 seconds, long enough to engage, short enough to avoid rambling. 3. The art of strategic vulnerability. Controlled vulnerability builds trust faster than perfectionism ever could. The 5% rule share slightly more than feels comfortable, but not so much that it triggers shame. Too safe. I like movies. 5% vulnerability. I love bad horror films, the cheesier the better. Too much early on. Movies help my depression. Psychology behind it. Moderate disclosure triggers mirror neurons, making others feel closer to you. Example scripts. I'm always nervous meeting new people. Glad this event seems chill. I never know what to say at these things. Any tips? 4. Handling rejection and awkward moments. Confidence isn't about avoiding stumbles. It's about recovering gracefully. The oops anyway pivot. When you fumble, acknowledge briefly, wow, that came out weird. Pivot immediately. Anyway, what were you saying about why it works? Shows self-awareness without self-punishment. Demonstrates emotional resilience, a trait people admire. The 10-minute rule. After an awkward moment, give yourself 10 minutes to feel embarrassed. Then ask, will this matter in 10 days? 10 months? Spoiler, it almost never does. 5. Group dynamics. Decoded groups trigger anxiety because they're unpredictable. These strategies restore control. The triangle listening technique. In group convos, pick 2 people who are engaged. Glance between them as they talk creates the illusion of participation. When there's a pause, add a short reaction. That's wild. How'd that happen? Bonus, nodding at someone else's point often gets you credited as great listener. The temperature check method. Every 5 minutes, assess, is the vibe debate, lean in, take sides? Or story sharing, add similar experiences. Matching the tone reduces misfire awkwardness. 6. Energy management for social stamina. Introverts often drain faster because they overregulate instead of flowing. The social battery hack 90-minute rule, plan to leave after 1.5 hours. Most events peak by then. Stealth recharges, bathroom breaks, getting a drink, stepping outside for air. Selective engagement. Focus on 1-2 quality convos versus superficial mingling. Science. The ultradian rhythm means energy naturally dips every 90 minutes. Honor it. 7. Identity reinforcement. Becoming someone who's good with people. Confidence stems from consistent evidence, not affirmations. The Daily Social Win Journal. Each night, record 1 interaction that went better than feared. 1 cue you noticed, e.g., she mirrored my posture. 1 small bravery, e.g., I initiated a handshake. Neuroplasticity. Bonus, writing reinforces positive memories, gradually overriding fear. 8. When progress feels slow, the plateau breakers. Skill building isn't linear. Try these when stuck. The change one variable experiment. Next social attempt, alter just 1 thing. Volume, speak 10% louder. Proximity, stand 6 inches closer. Initiation, be first to say hi. Why? Small tweaks reveal what specifically triggers improvement. The role model. Hack channel someone, real or fictional, with traits you admire. How would James Bond enter this room? How would Oprah listen to this story? Research. Cognitive embodiment temporarily borrows neural patterns from the archetype. The long game. Sustaining social confidence and building meaningful connections. 1. The maintenance phase. Preventing relapse into social anxiety. Social confidence is like fitness. Use it or lose it. Here's how to make progress stick. The social minimums framework. Maintain baseline skills with micro doses of interaction. Daily, one brief exchange, e.g., chat with cashier. Weekly, one slightly challenging interaction, e.g., ask a colleague about their project. Monthly, one stretch scenario, e.g., attend a networking event. Neuroplasticity. Insight. Missing 2+ weeks allows neural pathways to revert to anxious patterns. Consistency matters more than intensity. The Anxiety Weather Report. Track mental shifts like climate patterns. Early warning signs, increased avoidance, negative self-talk, physical tension, preventive actions, revisit exposure hierarchy. Double down on grounding techniques. Schedule easy win interactions. Relapse case study. A 2024 behavior therapy study showed participants who practiced monthly booster exposures maintained gains 83% better than control groups at 1-year follow-up. 2. Beyond small talk. The science of deep connection. Moving from survival to fulfillment in social interactions. The vulnerability ladder. Build intimacy gradually through layered disclosure. Rung example risk level 1. Shared interests. I love hiking. Low 2 mild preferences. I prefer beaches over mountains. Low medium 3. Personal stories. I got lost hiking once. Medium 4 values. Nature helps my anxiety. High 5. Current struggles. I've been stressed about. Very high optimal pacing. Acquaintances. Rungs. 1 to 3. Friends occasional 4. Close relationships. Selective 5. The magic ratio for bonding research-backed conversation depth. Triggers 1 personal revelation, 2 follow-up questions, 1 related disclosure. Example, you. I just adopted a rescue dog. Revelation. Them. What's his name? Was the process hard? Questions. You. His name's Bear. The first week was chaos. He ate my favorite shoes. Disclosure. Psychology behind it. This pattern activates oxytocin release in both speakers. Zach, 2017. 3. Advanced calibration, reading hidden social cues, go beyond words with micro-expression literacy. The STAR system for nonverbals. Cue-friendly signal, uncomfortable signal skin, flushing, blushing, gradual pinkening, engagement, sudden red patches, stress, torso, orientation, leaning in, interest, leaning back, arms crossed and defense, attention, eye movement, brief breaks, normal, frequent darting, seeking escape, respiration, breathing, even rhythm, calm, shallow, held breath, tension. Practice, drill, watch muted talk show clips. Guess rapport levels from body language alone. The 3-second mirroring technique. Build subconscious rapport by noticing their posture, gestures. Subtly matching one element within 3 seconds they cross legs. Adjust your ankle position. They lean forward. Nod while inclining slightly. Research, mirroring increases likability by 28%. Chartrand, 2021. 4. Energy economics for social butterflies. Prevent burnout with strategic resource allocation. The interaction ROI formula. Prioritize engagements offering, meaning plus enjoyment, drain plus pretending. Application. High ROI, deep convos with close friends, shared activity hangouts. Low ROI, obligatory small talk, status-conscious gatherings. The social hydration protocol for every hour of socializing. 15-minute solo decompression. 2 glasses water, dehydration amplifies anxiety. 5-minute physiological sigh, double inhale plus a long exhale. Neuroscience bonus. The physiological sigh resets blood CO2 levels 2x faster than normal breathing. Stanford, 2022. 5. When to seek professional support. Breaking points that warrant expert guidance. The 4Ds checklist. Duration. Symptoms persist 6+ months. Distress causes daily impairment. Disproportion. Fear exceeds actual risk domains. Affects work, relationships. Health effective modalities. CBT for thought pattern restructuring. DBT for emotional regulation. Exposure therapy for habituation. Group therapy for social skill practice medication. Considerations. SSRIs can be helpful for physiological symptoms when combined with behavioral work. 6. The ultimate meta-skill, social self-compassion, final pillar for sustainable growth. The 3 permissions framework. To be beginner. I'm allowed to be awkward sometimes. To set boundaries. I can leave when drained. To progress non-linearly. Some days will feel harder, that's normal. The post-mortem ritual. After challenging interactions, fact. What actually happened? Feeling. What emotions arose? Forward. What's one tiny improvement? Example, fact. I stumbled over my words during the presentation. Feeling embarrassed, but also proud I did it. Forward. Next time, I'll practice the opening 3 sentences more. Epilogue. Your social identity remodel. True confidence emerges when you stop comparing to naturals many are masking too. Define success as showing up authentically. View skills as learnable, not innate traits. Final challenge for the next month, track bravery. Points each time you lean into discomfort. Evidence file, positive social feedback, saved texts, compliments. Within 90 days, your brain will rewire to see itself as someone who handles social situations.